Some of us women need to accept that to get a good man, we are going to have to go 50-50 financially in our relationships.
Hey, beautiful people. How are you all doing today? Check out Mara David. I thank you all so much for tuning in another interesting video. See, this topic of 50-50, we talked about it last year, 2023. We're just saying topics about 50-50, 50-50. It got to the stage I was like, no more 50-50 conversation. But I saw a video about 50-50 and I wanted to talk about it because she said that in order for you to get a good man, women, listen up, you have to go 50-50 with a man in order for you to get a good man. When we're talking about good men, when we say some things, some people say not all men, or there's still 1% of men that are good. Okay, in order for you to get that 1% of man that is good, you need to go 50-50 with him. That was what she said. What is your take? I'm going to roll the video for you also watch the end and also reaction about it, and I'll share my thoughts at the end of the video. But then let me know your own thoughts. I really want you to watch the video to the end before you put your thought down in the comment section, and I'll see you at the end of the video.
Some of us women need to accept that to get a good man, we are going to have to go 50-50 financially in our relationships. Ladies, I know you're mad. Stay with me, please. Please do not let this ridiculous social media narrative fool you. This narrative that men have to have it all together and have to be able to pay for your whole lifestyle, a luxury lifestyle at that, before they are worthwhile human beings. Because honestly, that mindset is trash and it's not realistic. And I'm not saying this because I can't get one of those men. Because A, very few of those men exist. B, the ones that do exist are not accessible to a lot of women. And C, at that level, those kind of men often tend to be super entitled, disrespectful, and really see women as commodities to be used and traded. And the reality is a lot of men at that level are headed to jail at some point. Maybe not today, but at some point in their life, either through the way they got the money or the way they use the money. For most men, the majority of men, they are pretty much in the corporate or the business world where they're growing their own business. And these men are either in the point of their life where they're growing their career or growing their business. That does not happen overnight, especially if you are doing things legally and by the book. And ladies, if you want a man that you want to build a life with and start a family with, I would encourage you to get with a man who is doing things pretty much legally and by the book. And the truth of these kind of men is you do not start, your career or your business and make lump sum tomorrow. That is why I think it's the top 1% starts from like 100 grand. So outside of that top 1% is 99% of men. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication to make a large amount of money. So even if you meet a man in his 20s, in his 30s, even in his 40s, he might not be there yet. And in reality, as long as a man is trying, there is nothing wrong with him not being exactly where he wants to be. There is also nothing wrong with you getting your bread up and you working towards being a 1% earner, if that's what you want for your life. Because I'm sorry to say, ladies, a lot of us are sitting out with our hand out, waiting for a meal ticket, waiting for a man to fund our life and our lifestyle. It is really important as a woman who wants to be part of a successful relationship and possibly family to understand the concept of partnership. And it's really unfortunate because I think the narrative is that women have made it seem like if a man is paying all your bills, you're special. And if a woman doesn't have a man paying all her bills, she's less than. No woman is less than you because she understands that she has to contribute to her life and her lifestyle. Real wealth and real stability in a relationship comes when everybody knows they are covered. So your man should also operate in the mindset that he knows that if he's trying, because you should only be dealing with men who are trying to self-improve. So if he's trying and he has times where he's down, you are going to be there as his partner and his love to cover him and support him. On the other side of that, knowing that you're a woman who is loyal and will support him as long as he's trying, when the success does come, when the riches do come, he won't have any qualms about sharing that with you and making sure you enjoy it just as much, if not more, than he does. Now, am I saying go and pick up a broke man? No, but understand that men are just not always going to be up. Life happens to everybody. And in my current relationship, I am enjoying the comfort that comes with having a man who is doing well for himself. However, I fully understand that if his situation were to change and he needed my help, that I would need to and would happily step up financially, because I am not a child. I am a partner in this partnership. I strongly believe, and I could not be any stronger in the belief, that women should have their own finances. I really detest this era we're in of women coming on and saying, this is how I spend my day as a stay-at-home girlfriend or stay-at-home wife. Because it only shows one side of the coin. And a lot of stay-at-home girlfriends and wives, not all, are being abused in some way, shape, or form. Let's talk the truth. They are either financially abused, emotionally abused, physically abused, and all of that connects to control. They are heavily controlled by these men because these men control the finances. And if someone controls the finances, they control your movement, they control your decisions. You are an adult, and it is not safe to be dependent on another adult for your freedom of movement. Now, obviously, I understand that that is sometimes unavoidable with things like, pregnancy, child rearing, etc. But that's why you have to be very careful about the type of men you pick and not pick just based on finances. And let me tell you the truth, you're only going to get that type of man if the care and love is mutual. I generally do not know where this fairy tale of a man is going to work so hard to get all these riches and, really build and create a life for himself, then pluck a lucky winner out of nowhere and invite her into this lifestyle with him for the rest of his life. Which men are you lot seeing? Because look around, that is not men's mindset. Men feed you and expect you to off your pan. You think a man is going to share his riches with you? What? Because you're pretty. The only women you see that live this kind of lifestyle with these men are the women that they came up with, because they know that those women are going to be with them when they're down, because they have been. Those women are going to support them because they already have. So as a woman, you need to be able to show a man that, yes, you expect his love, his support, but you are also willing to do the same mentally, emotionally, and financially if needed. These men of today, and I guess every day, but now we've got social media, they understand that women can be bought. And women, we need to stop moving as purchasable commodities. A man should never be able to buy you. Your presence should never be dependent on a man's finances. Because in reality, women are whole and complete people with really strong brains that if we want to bring our brain and our thought process to growth for either helping a man or helping ourselves, we can go really far. So why would you want to be a woman that's lucky enough to find a man who's going to share with you? Because that's a risk. Instead of being a woman that's helped contribute to building, because then you actually have an equity stake. Because yes, looks are great, but we need to bring way more value than looks. Our value needs to be in our efficiency. Our value needs to be in our loyalty. Our value needs to be in the comfort, the words of affirmation we speak when things aren't looking great. And these are the things we need to be expecting from men, not just money. Because if there's money, money will always be there. But what you really should be holding a man to the fire for is his time. Is his ability to comfort and encourage when you are down. There has to be an expectation on both sides that we are pouring into each other's cup and we are not depleting from each other. These are the things that are valuable in a relationship. Because let me tell you something, a money maker is always going to make money. Now, I have to address this because I know when I post this video, I'm going to open the comments and a woman or 10 is going to say, oh, but you will do all this and you'll build a man and then he'll leave you when he gets up. Stop picking those kind of men. That's why I was very clear to say a man that is actively trying to become successful is actually trying to make something of himself. Because a lot of women will pick up men who really are ready to coast on her coattails and then be like, oh, but he didn't do anything. And then he'll leave you for someone better. Or if he happens to hit the jackpot, then he'll leave you because he never liked you that much anyway. Stop picking men who are not showing through their actions on a daily basis that they love, care, and respect you. You don't get to justify this bad decision of complicit prostitution, basically, because the man you picked before did you dirty. I'm not justifying it and I'm not excusing him. What I'm saying is we can't, as women, keep ignoring red flags and then be upset when we don't escape the consequences of ignoring those red flags. And yes, I understand some men are just complete psychos, so tough in this dating scene. But do your best, do your due diligence, and let God do the rest. Now, like I always say, there's always an exception to the rule. For best results, assume it's not you. Mwah. Some of us women need to accept that to get a good man, we are going to have to go 50.
Oh, good. We're talking 50-50 relationships. Gather round, ladies. Class is in session. Now, I've talked about 50-50 relationships before and why I don't think they work and why I don't think that they're actually 50-50. Because when we're talking about 50-50, we're talking about money. We're talking about you as a woman covering half the bills. And I see where that leads because I see when relationships unravel and I see that that always leads to bad outcomes for women. Now, any relationship can unravel, okay, but there are better outcomes and worse outcomes. And while both the woman with the provider husband and the woman who was 50-50 with her husband are both crying in my office, one of them's getting a house and the other one isn't. And let me tell you, it is a special kind of pain that a woman gets to experience when she spends all of her best years of her life giving this man everything that she has, all of her time, all of her energy. She gives him children. She pours in money into him. She subsidizes his existence and builds him up only for him to turn around and leave for another woman and start giving her everything, providing for her, doing all the things that, the first woman wished that he could do, but he wasn't able to yet. That hurts a lot more, okay? It just does. And it is absolutely a lie that in order to be with a successful man, you have to be there at the beginning and you have to build him up. Let me tell you, the majority of those men are not going to give that woman loyalty. And in a lot of cases, they don't really even like her that much. She was never the woman that they really wanted to be with, their idea of a dream woman. They just kind of settled for her because she was the one who was able to prop them up, willing to build with them, all of that. But the second that they're successful and they're able to go get the dream woman, do you think they're really going to say no and pass up that opportunity because you were there from the beginning? No, they come up with all kinds of reasons why it's all your fault that the relationship has broken down. They're not attracted to you anymore. You haven't kept yourself up. You're always nagging them. They're just so unhappy. This other woman, she knows how to make them happy. She knows how to make them feel like a real man. And all of the work that you did with him won't matter. The other thing to understand is that provider men, they don't have to be rich. And I think this is where the original creator and others get confused. Any man who is able to be financially independent, he can look after himself all by himself, pay his own rent, his own bills, is capable of being a provider. It does not cost him more to have a woman live with him. It does not make his rent go up. It doesn't really affect utilities that much. Maybe he spends a little bit more on food, but not significantly. So usually the reason that a man wants to partner with a woman and split bills with her is because it affords him a better lifestyle, a boost in his sort of quality of life and his status and all of that. Because men are still largely judged based on how much money they earn and, the things that they have. And you can criticize that all you want, but it's a reality nonetheless. So when that 50-50 man, who just for argument's sake is, let's say, earning, $60,000, $70,000, not rich, right? Partners with a woman, now he thinks, oh, look, we can have a $100,000 lifestyle, $150,000 lifestyle instead of a $70,000 lifestyle. And that's what he wants because that boosts his status in society. And so he's basically wanting to stand on that woman's shoulders. And then on top of that, he wants her to perform femininity, and that's why women end up doing the majority of the woman's work, the household labor, the cooking, the cleaning, and just doing, what you generally feel like you're expected to do as a woman. Let's not lie, make yourself look good, stroke his ego, make him feel good, all those things. And there's nothing wrong with that, but just accept that, again, that's reality. And so now that man is getting not only the benefit of having a woman in his life, 24/7 access to her, intimacy, emotional support, she's probably cooking and cleaning for him, making him feel great about himself. He also is getting the income and status boost. And now his options, right, have improved. His prospects have improved. And unfortunately, some men will exercise those options. And yes, the provider men will also do that. But at least the woman didn't have to pay for the privilege of being cheated on and heartbroken. At least she's getting some financial compensation out of the deal. So that's why I say, if you do want to partner with a man, the only way that the relationship, in my opinion, is just and equitable is if he is the financial provider. If he is at least able to provide the bare necessities. And absolutely 100%, you must not have babies with a man who cannot provide those necessities. But I've also talked about that in other videos, and I'll probably talk about that more in future. Because the reality is that you are going to have to provide in a lot of other ways, okay? You're going to be expected to provide a lot of other stuff that is often unreciprocated, and so the least the man can do is pay the bills that he would otherwise just be paying for himself anyway. So that's all I have for you today. Class dismissed.
For me, yeah, when I hear 50-50, when I hear you have to go 50-50 for your relationship to work, I cannot understand it. I don't understand why I have to go 50-50 with a man, because it doesn't always goes well. And she said some things in that video saying that you, as a woman, you need to be with a man, because most men that you want to meet, that the sprinkle kind of men, that have to be very rich before you get married to them, before you start dating them. There are very, very few out there, and most of them you might not get to see them, because the amount of women looking for men that are rich and the amount of rich men out there, it's not balanced, okay? The women is high, while the men that are rich very low. So she said something about building with a man that has a future, that has ambition. These are the things I feel like generally they used to tell women, right? You need to build with a man. You need to, look for a man that has vision, a man that is potential, a man that is growing, so that both of you can grow together. These are the things they tell ladies, younger girls that want to get married, and maybe she brought home a guy that is not really boxed up. But like, oh, it's not bad. Just, build with him. Eventually, both of you will get rich together. So when you're building with that kind of person and things want to get done in the house, or you guys are having kids and things need to get done, you need to bring, he needs to bring, you need to bring, he needs to bring, and it's going to be 50-50, because apparently the person doesn't have much, and you're also working, you're building yourself while he's building himself. So you have to drop and he has to drop money as well. The question is, how many men out there that their wife builds with them? They were building themselves together. How many men out there, how many relationships out there, or how many women out there can come out and boastfully say, when this man has money, he became a better person. He became the best husband. How many women can come out to say that? Because the women that came out to always talk about how they build with this man, they're always paying, because they'd be like, when you had nothing, I was there. When you were this, I was there. I suffered. We were staying in a room apartment. We're having kids. we're doing this, we're doing that. Now you have money, you won the lottery or something, get another woman. They want to get a woman that likes money. The woman that their dream woman, that is the woman they always want to go meet. Those young girls that they just want to spoil their money, they will go, they won't just want to go out and do things. And you see those women coming out to be like, but when you had money it changed. See, one thing even men do say is you can never know a man's true character until he has money, right? So if he doesn't have much money and you marry or you're in a relationship with him, you really don't know what he can do when the money comes. Building with a man most of the time doesn't benefit women because you pour in everything on them, you pour in all your energy on them. At the end of the day, they do not give you back the things they're supposed to give you. You see a Muslim man, he's going to marry a first wife, right? He's going to marry his wife and tell the wife, I love you so much, I'm not going to remarry, because he doesn't have money. The moment he has money, maybe the first wife already have 3 kids for him. The moment he has money, this man is going to marry second wife, third wife, fourth wife, right? And you're the first wife, you suffered with him, you've built with him, you've done everything. So all this build with the man, it doesn't really end well. Go check the percentage of women that comes out to talk about it. It doesn't really end well. A man that cannot take care of a family by himself, he cannot sit down and look at his earnings. Yes, we know things are getting expensive these days, and he cannot see how he can do more work and provide for his family. Like, okay, I can only provide for me and a woman that is my wife, and I want to get married to her. We're not going to have kids because I don't have money. If a man cannot sit down and calculate like that and expects a woman that he wants to marry to give him money, to be handing money to him, is not worth to be a husband. Okay, a man is supposed to be the one to provide 100 for you, right? Let's say something happens. Anything can happen. Yes, you as a woman, you're not sitting down looking. You have your money, and because it's not everything is going to buy for you. There's some things that you just want to buy because you have the money to buy. You're an adult, right? But waiting for you to do things, maybe pay the water bill, pay the light bill in the house. And this kind of men, after they've calculated that, oh, you have your own money, he has his own money, they will start talking about children. And once you start having children in that kind of relationship, you suffer more. So for me, 50-50 in a relationship doesn't benefit women. I always say, I see all my grants, bang, 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 because I don't see why women should share the bills with the man. If you're not capable of being the man of the household, don't get married to this woman. Because at the end of the day, if this woman start dropping money, doing this, doing that, you guys start sharing things and all of that. When the money comes, or at the end of the day, the woman, she's not, first of all, she's not even doing 50-50 with you. Your own other 50%, God knows where it's going to, right? She's giving you 100 while you are giving her 50. So it's not balanced. It's not balanced. If finding a good man for a woman is that she has to do 50-50, it's not compulsory to be in a relationship. Seriously, because it doesn't benefit you as a woman, to be honest. A lot of hard work you put in a relationship, men don't put in 50% of that. So when you still put in those 100 of it and you still bring in your money as well, I don't know, it's just as if you're feeding another man's child, and your own 50% or his own 50% is going elsewhere outside. Maybe he's going outside to, meet other women and spend so much money for it. You just put it outside. Like, it's just putting it. At the end of the day, it doesn't still benefit women. You need to make these men know that for them to be in a relationship with you, they must be financially stable. They must be financially stable enough to take care of you. And when you want to start a family with them, like you want to start having kids, you must make sure that they have that money to take care of those children. We're talking about finance here. You must have that money to take care of those children. At least start with one and see how the money is going. If there's still enough money for the second one, take another second one. To take on 50-50 in a relationship. Let me know your thought in the comment section. I don't think we've talked about 50-50 in a relationship this year. I'm not sure. But I know last year we were really talking about it. We were making different videos about 50-50 in the relationship. And I know some people are like, they don't have a problem doing 50-50. While some people are like, they have a big problem doing 50-50. I'm part of the people that have big problem doing 50-50. And I don't have a problem with people that want to do 50-50 in a relationship. It's just what works for you. But then at the end of the day, when you think about it, when you feel like you're doing 50-50, you are not actually doing that 50-50. You're putting in more than is putting in. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. And thank you all so much for tuning in today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe. And I'll see you all in my next video.